We're going to go right there. And yes, we are live. Hi guys.
ימים טובים שהשמש במזורחת והעיר כולה פורחת כמו השיר. ימים טובים לא אכפת לך הפסולת והדיזל והסולר באוויר. ואז אתה קטן ופתאום עשיר כמו הבעל הבית של העיר. ואז אתה קטן ופתאום גדול מהכל. ואלה הם ימים טובים שהלבבות מתרחבים ובני אדם אז נפתחים כמו פרחים. ימים טובים והעיר כמו בית תחפושת ואתה מביא לבושם של פרחים. ימים טובים ואפשר אז באופנוע ברחובות ריקים לנסוע תותחים. ואז אתה קטן ופתאום עשיר כמו בעל הבית של העיר. ואז אתה קטן ופתאום גדול מהכל. כן אלה הם ימים טובים שהלבבות מתרחבים ובני אדם אז נפתחים כמו פרחים. עשיר כמו הבעל הבית של העיר. ואז אתה קטן ופתאום גדול מהכל. ואלה הם ימים טובים שהלבבות מתרחבים ובני אדם אז נפתחים כמו פרחים. שהשמש במזורחת והעיר כולה פורחת כמו השיר.
Wow.
What a nice opening. Eyal Golan.
Shout out to Eyal Golan.
Yeah, that was amazing. Hi, I'm Dalia Ehrman here with you with Ilana Weinstein.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here with me on Politically Incorrect on TLA Radio. We're live to you today. Thank you to Jimmy Taus, because I know that you were waiting to be on with Zoom, and I will get you on in a few days. I just wanted to shout out and say thank you to you for trying to help me out, but it's not working today. So we're getting that, technical issues. So hello to everyone. Hopefully a good week for everyone. We're here live on Politically Incorrect and want to talk to you a little bit what's happening in the city in Los Angeles. We're here in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And Ilana Weinstein is here with me today, and she'll tell you a little bit about her show as well. And we just did a cute show with her in Batsheva. I was honored to be on with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for having me on your show now.
Yes.
This is incredible.
And I got to hear from Batsheva things that are happening in Israel, and that the feeling is a little better. People are out on the streets, going to the beach, and God willing, this will be a peaceful, real truce. We were talking about that. We don't know. In the meantime, anti-Semitism is on a rise, unfortunately, all over the world, but here in LA, where we never really felt it before too much, not the way we do now.
Right.
We are feeling it. I can't say we've always had some. I worked at Bank Leumi, I don't know if you know that, for many years in the past, many years ago.
Wow.
And we used to get threats, but we didn't really ever take them too serious. We didn't feel a real threat while we were there.
Right.
Today, however, the feeling in the air has changed. And we're seeing a lot of things in Los Angeles. I don't know, did you see that they're painting blue signs on the streets next to Jewish homes? I'll pull it up and show you the pictures. This was yesterday.
What do you mean they're painting blue?
Yes,
blue?
I'm going to show the audience.
First of all, who is painting?
We don't know.
So it is somebody anonymously painting
Yes,
blue.
but they are. They're going to wear mezuzot. They see it. And I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if I can say it online. I'm on a special group here that are trying to take care of and do their own private watch on Jewish community here in Los Angeles. And I'm going to go backwards. There's been a lot of pictures since. This is yesterday in front of houses that have mezuzot to point them out so at night or other times we can have problems.
Wait, what cities is this?
This is Los Angeles. What city? I don't know.
This is in Los Angeles. This is happening in Los Angeles.
I'll send it to you
right now.
So let me show the audience if you can see it. There's two different, I don't know, I'm hoping you can see
it. The camera is right there, so you can point that. Yeah.
So one is a Jewish type star in blue, and one is just a blue mark. So there's different people going around the city. So they see your mezuzah, and they're doing this on the street. If you do see that on the street, please call your local police and let them know, and take something and wash it off. Do not leave it there. Be smart. Take soap, water, whatever you need to do. I don't know if it comes off. If it doesn't, use something to cover it. Black paint for all I care. I don't care what you use. Right. Try to get rid of it. Apparently it is happening here in LA. What area, I'm not sure, and I don't want to start reading all my text messages right now.
This is insanity. We've arrived to the point of insanity. This is no longer
unacceptable. There's no longer acceptable. Well, it's not ever acceptable. However, it seems to be like people are just accepting the fact that it's okay, go ahead and hate the Jews. It's not acceptable. We cannot be quiet because that is what they used to do in the Jewish past. If it was in Germany or anywhere else, they were scared and they were quiet.
Right.
We cannot be. We have to continue to go out. It's kind of what Batsheva just told us in Israel, because I asked her a question about should we visit Israel this summer, and she said we cannot be afraid. And she's right. It's the same thing here at home.
Right.
You need to go out. I actually went to a kosher restaurant yesterday. So I was saying to the group of friends, I actually feel very comfortable here because we can talk out loud and we can speak in Hebrew. She said, so should you be comfortable or more uncomfortable? Could somebody drive by and do something to us? I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about feeling comfortable to talk, which this is Los Angeles. We should, in the 21st century, we should feel comfortable regardless, no matter what.
I must respond to this. First of all, I want to say any store that sells blue paint to anyone should notify the police department. I think that should start from there. Just notify them because that's what they're using it for. They're not using it for any other reason. They're using it to terrorize people. I went to shul this week. I went to this Friday. There was a bar mitzvah in shul, and of course fully guarded, and everything. And I took a walk. My walk is about 3 miles to the shul, and I walked with my husband, who is fully rabbi.
Yes.
He's dressed, everything, and I was his guard. In my pocket, even though we're not supposed to carry as Jews, on Shabbat, even though I had in my pocket a gas tease.
Yeah, pepper spray.
Pepper spray. I had that, and I had a little lock. Mm-hmm. And those lock that you do, just in case if somebody's gonna get closer, I will throw that lock into their face.
Oh, good idea. I mean, it's something you need to do. You need to be vigilant. You were with me at the...
Maddie Lisbona. Thank you very much, Maddie.
Yes, at the class for self-defense, which we're going to do another one, and we'll talk about that later. But you saw how important it is to be vigilant, keep your eyes open, be aware of your surrounding, everything in your surrounding.
So what else can we do, Dalia? I know we talked about this. We had a rally this Sunday,
correct?
Which I went, to support, Israel and support, and more than anything, to show them that we are no victims. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight hard. We're gonna hit you hard. We're gonna hit you really hard. Promise you. So I went there.
I did too.
And I heard everyone speak. Dennis Prager. Thank God for him that he is a voice for the Jews, and the right kind of voice. Because that's really important.
To speak, yes.
But I remember you saying at some point that those rallies are not really that effective.
Correct.
As far as can you elaborate?
Yes, I'm going to elaborate on that exactly, because actually I don't want to put it on now, but I have newsreels, and we're talking Fox News, which is usually yes, more pro-Jewish and Israel than any other channel, and I'm sorry to say that, but it's just the truth. And even Fox barely took really any time on their station. It was on somewhere in the middle. It wasn't the first thing on or anything like that. They said a few hundred people. There were over 1,000 people. They showed a little tiny picture, and they said it's because of the conflict, and that was it. Right. It was a very fast. So we don't even really get real publicity in the news. So I'm going to be honest. Yes, great for us. Within ourselves, we're feeling really confident when we go there, and there's police protection, and we get to put the Jewish flags with the Israeli flags with the American flags, and show support for the both countries. And I'm not saying not to do that, because it builds up, I think, our own personal morality. Plus, I don't know who really is paying attention, but apparently some people are, on the streets. Is that really effective? No, because you need a right Congress. There are links. You can Google that. You can Google. There's already pre-letters made what needs to be said to Congress. You can call your Congress people to give support to Israel, to the Jewish community here at home, because we're not really having too much support right now. And that's what really needs to be done. So I would almost say it's equivalent to... We had amazing rallies, all throughout the country for President Trump. Yet, in the voting polls, I'm not going to talk about now if there was fraud or not fraud. It's not the point. The point is that in the polls, the people that came to the rallies didn't necessarily go out to vote, is my point. So it's great to come out to the rallies. And, also, if the news was covering it, it'd be even better, but they're not really. So I'm not telling you don't go to the rallies or don't have a rally, but I am telling you if you're going to a rally and you're going to take your time out of your day and drive down there and do all this, please take 5 minutes, not even, it's 2 minutes of your time, and go on the computer or go on the phone and write Congress, send them. So I've heard back people say, oh, you have to put your information, your email, your name, your address, your phone number. I don't want anyone to have it.
People scared from that. That's true.
Same thing like with voting. Oh, if we go to vote, we're going to be in the, have to go to jury duty. I've heard all of this before. Guys, either you're helping or not helping. To stand on the street with your flag, it's not, again, I don't want to ruin it. Please go out there. But it's not the biggest help in the world. It's not going to really help change laws, situation. If Congress gets enough emails, phone calls, text messages, enough people saying, hey, it's not okay what's going on. America always supported their biggest ally, Israel, and supported real support. And now what's going on? The left are turning left. The margin used to be somewhere in the middle. Now, unfortunately and sadly, the Democrat Party and the left, the extreme left, are moving away. So I was told, and my brother actually explained this to me, because everyone knows I don't need to lie about it. I'm pro-Trump. And a lot of this, I believe truly, this new administration is not completely pro-Israel. They are still realize that we're their biggest allies, thank God. But we have a lot of Jewish voters. I'm just going to tell my point, and please go on. Don't lose your thought.
I'm
However, we cannot be Israel always has to stay bipartisan, meaning both parties have to agree that Israel is important. We cannot lose that. And if we start to turn too much, oh, this party isn't for us, why should they help us? My brother was explaining. Why will the Biden administration, they're going to say, oh, these people in the end, they're not going to vote for us anyways. They're already turning this way. They're going to go like that. We need to bring them back. And the only way to do that is not to be anti the Biden administration. Again, I voted differently. When you go to vote, you can vote what you want. But if you're walking in a rally, you cannot be... I saw people with flags. I'm not going to repeat what the flags even said. It was really bad. You cannot... Israel cannot be anything but bipartisan. It has to stay in the middle. It has to be important to both sides. Please, I didn't mean to interrupt your line of thought.
It's related to what you're saying, and I completely agree with you. We should be bipartisan, and we should have the support of the United States government. It was heartwarming for me to hear Kamala Harris, the vice president in the Biden administration, saying that, yes, she spoke in the first place that I am a friend of Israel.
She did that before she won, you know that. That was
before, that was AIPAC showing that. So
I just want you to know she was talking specifically to a certain audience, and she looked for votes, so it's not recent.
Okay.
She didn't come out and condemn Hamas or terrorism right now.
Okay, so...
I'm not saying that she's not... that they haven't even decided, the administration, if they're going to replenish the money for the Iron Dome yet. Their biggest ally in the Middle East, and we don't know yet if they're going to do that or not. Right. I'm assuming that they will, but they're also giving money to the Palestinians right now. Let's not turn a blind eye.
Right.
And they did give them $100 million. I think it was within the first hour that they were in office. So, having said that, what she said in that speech sounded fantastic.
Right.
Let's see that she'll pull through with it.
You know, it's interesting that I choose to
I
get
hope
myself
so.
Right. I choose to hope that's what she said was the truth.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Right, and that's my my optimistic self.
God willing, God willing that will be the truth, and it should be.
Exactly.
Israel is a domestic country in the Middle East that helps America always and helps the world.
Israel helps the world. I mean, we can't. Every time we go back and we talk to the haters, we say, look at all the inventions, look at all the medicine, look at all the developments, technological development. Everything is coming from Israel.
Yes.
Why? This is who we are. We're not fighters. We're not warriors. We're not. We have to be. If we have to be, we are. But we're peacemakers. We're people that make health. We heal. We're healers. We're healers. We're pacemakers. I can go on and on and on. But we're not out there to hurt anybody. And I don't remember ever waking up in the morning and saying to myself, let me go out in the street and kill some, those that want to kill me.
It's not in our nature.
It's not we're not like that. We are not.
We are not. I also went to the Bet Knesset temple for Shavuot, and who I'm going to have on the show, actually, Rabbi Yossi Kunin. I'm excited to have him here. He's going to be coming and joining me. And we have the window that you told me, and we will have people watching us. And we will sit on separate sides on the table.
It'll be tznius.
Yes. So I just want to tell you guys, his first sentence that he said is, and I'm trying to quote properly, and I hope, Rabbi Yossi, that I'm saying it in the right way, but the point will come across. And he said, let our enemies become our friends. Quite the contrary of what I'm sure that you're hearing in mosques or other places.
Right.
We're looking for peace. Let our enemies become our friends. Let's think about that for a minute. We know you're our enemy, but we're happy to become friends with you at any moment. We don't want to hold grudges. Let's forget about the past and move forward and start a new path. And hopefully that's what will happen. Who knows?
And it's happening in Israel already. Even the facts are showing grim existence, still Israelis are chiming and they're saying, we want to have two people living in the same country. We want to have, they're saying positive and optimistic things to, that this is who we are.
To help the morality of the people. And we just spoke to Batsheva on your show, Kan Valshav.
Right.
Yes, their show is Kan Valshav. And Batsheva was saying people are back out at the beaches and going out. And I even asked her a question, should we come and visit in the summer now? And she said, of course, because we shouldn't be scared. And people going back to their regular life right away, because that's what we want.
Absolutely.
We want peace. We want to be able to move forward,
Absolutely.
Worry about our health, our family, and, our businesses and regular life situations.
It's time to go back to normal. COVID is over. We all have been, we have solutions.
You have to be worried about saying that. So I'm going to reiterate. COVID, we feel like it is here in LA because many people are immunized.
Right.
But my family lives in Canada right now where they're still on lockdown. Well, they're not on full lockdown. They just got to a curfew point. But they've been on lockdown till now. And they are not immunized. And COVID is very much happening there and in India and other places. So Israel and Los Angeles, we kind of feel in
New York,
like a little bit, as if, and thank God that we're going back to our regular lives. Yes.
we could be the the example to the rest of the world.
I
that
hope
this
so.
Can be,
and please be immunized. I know we have a lot of people that are not and are against it, but I think you're helping society when you are. Right. I do want to go back for 1 minute that we spoke about privately a few minutes ago.
Yes.
I was at dinner, and I'm not going to mention names because unless she wants to come and be on her own, I don't want to mention names.
Right.
A family member of a friend of mine flew through JetBlue New York, Los Angeles flight, very recent. Mm-hmm. Her mother needed help on a wheelchair to leave or get to the, you ask for wheelchair help. Mm-hmm. And the man taking her on the wheelchair, carrying her and pushing her forward, asked her, "Are you Jewish?" And she felt very uncomfortable. It was the tone in which he asked it that she knew something isn't right.
Okay.
And she was scared, and she said no, although she isn't actually a religious woman. Mm-hmm. And he started to go off those effing, I don't want to even say, dirty, filthy.
He was cursing her.
Yeah, cursing her. I don't want to repeat. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. And she was very scared and nervous. Having said that, they called the next day to JetBlue, and I'm going to mention it again, JetBlue. They called to complain. And the man answering the phone answered in the same way. He said, "You Jews, blah, blah, blah." And we need to get this out there because, number one, this is not okay. This is the United States of America. This is a major airline. Obviously, many Jews are flying on it. New York, Los Angeles is a regular route.
Right.
And this should not be happening. It not be okay. And I'm going to suggest to them to obviously make a bigger complaint and call the ADL and maybe take upon another step. But I did want you guys to know, we're not joking when we're telling you that anti-Semitism is on the rise. There are things happening and really to people on a daily basis with this kind of things.
It seems like people are taking the law into their own hands.
It's very scary, and I'll tell you, good thing that you mentioned that. Thank you. That's actually a really great point because we have a new problem and all throughout the United States that the police are afraid to get involved in anything. They just don't know at this point what they're allowed to do, not allowed to do.
Right.
This new anti-police movement is scary because we're looking for protection. This is the real police who are supposed to protect you.
Right.
And they are afraid to. And one good example of that is originally when this incident happened here in Los Angeles at the sushi restaurant and later on at another place. They continued to the second place. They were arrested, or they were stopped. They weren't arrested. Let me rephrase that. Mm-hmm. Those people, that car was stopped. Mm-hmm. The police interviewed them and let them go. They were arrested now. I think they found one or two of them. I'm not really sure. But the police are just afraid to do their real job, and it's a big problem for us.
They are afraid. Yes. I mean, it's and rightfully so, because you don't know what, if they have a knife, because if they're out there to kill, they're gonna kill. They're not. There's no negotiations there. They're out there to get the Jews, and that's what they want to do. And that's just a horrible situation. Dalia, I wanna go back to Hollywood.
Great.
Can we talk about that? I follow Rabbi Shmueli.
By the way, I don't want to say, but I might be honored to have him as we've been talking back and forth. So I'm hoping
amazing.
that will work out.
He is
actually, I'll send him this so he'll see this.
Yeah.
I'm praying that this will work out. But I've been in touch with him just so that you know. Yes.
I've met him a few years ago. We did a Pesach together, and it was quite a pleasure. And he's a special man, and he's so right. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of Jews in Hollywood that are democratic Jews that have been faithful to democracy. You know, and
the Democratic Party, you might want to say.
I want to say democracy.
Okay.
I want to go global because this is, it's not just small things, it's the bigger picture.
The big picture.
You know, the bigger picture that all of us think we don't see, you know, but some of us do. You know, democracy is really important. Everybody has to have equal rights. Everybody has to have, you know, have to be taken care of. But this have shifted to a different direction. This have become a literally chase the Jew thing. You know, this we've become the target. Okay, and we're not the problem.
I know that
we're not the problem, but the Jewish actors and movie stars and like, for example, Steven Spielberg, Barbara Streisand, you know.
The list goes on. It doesn't matter. There's a lot.
Where are you? Are you seeing that your brothers or sisters are being...
No, I'm going to...
What is going on?
I'm going to cut in. I don't think that they realize... you said Steven Spielberg, his mother was in the Holocaust.
We all know that. Holocaust.
Correct. I don't think that they see that we are reliving history in a different way. It's always in a different way.
I have to stop this. They're not watching the news?
They do not connect the dots in that way.
They do not connect the dots. What are they thinking?
They are watching the news.
What are they happening?
They are sympathetic to this, quote unquote. It's kind of
let's see
the poor Palestinians. Yes, you're right. It is the poor Palestinians, but they're not standing up against the Hamas. There's innocent people there. That is correct. But stand up to the terrorism. So the message out there isn't quite strong enough of what's really happening. And it's become more popular, unfortunately, and you see it on school campuses and things like that, where it's popular to be more anti-Israel and pro what they are calling Palestine, even though it's not a real place that...
Right.
It's not a real thing. I mean, it is a place that was, but it's not a real Palestinian for Palestinians.
No, they've chosen. This is what they've chosen.
And it's become popular to do that. And unfortunately, Hollywood goes with popularity. Not all Hollywood. I mean, you have some standing up. Maybe it'll take time. Hopefully, they'll wake up, and they might not. I don't know.
You think when? When are you going to wake up?
If you go back to the 1930s, and I know that the situation is different and anti-Semitism is different, so it's not a neo-Nazi thing. It's an anti-Zionism thing.
It's actually not so different, Dalia.
It is different.
Let me just... My point is, in 1911, there was an outbreak of a virus here. There was a Spanish flu that attacked the world. 1918. And that basically spiraled into...
I understand where you're coming from, yes.
You understand where it's heading? Because this is very similar. It's like history repeats itself.
Repeating itself in all angles.
All of a sudden, Jews are being attacked. Yeah. Jews are being blamed for all the mischiefs and all the disasters in the world. This is kind of the same thing. Now we're being blamed from the misery of people who basically want to destroy the world.
Correct. But the thing is, are the Jewish people aware? Because in Germany, when you used to tell them something like, from the stories that I've heard, they said, no, we have money, we're in the government, we're a doctor, we're a lawyer, we're a businessman. It's not going to happen to us. It's not going to happen here.
Right. I'm needed. I'm important.
We're part of society. We're German first. We're American first. You hear American Jews that are voting, and I'm talking about people that I know, and tell me to my face, we're American first. No, you're not. You're first Jewish. Unfortunately, that's how the world looks at you. I mean, fortunate or unfortunate, that's just the fact.
Listen, if we are standing today and staring in the face of a Star of David, painted a blue Star of David because you might be Jewish, or you may have bought a house that has a mezuzah on it. You may not be Jewish, but you will have the Star of David on your porch, and you will get attacked because of that. We are not looking at a
I will re-show everyone what we're talking about. If you can see it, it was painted on the streets here yesterday. Other symbols in front of people's houses that have mezuzot.
Right.
Anyways, this is what's happening. You need to be aware visually. You need to pay attention to your situation. And I will tell you, I had a show last week about self-defense here, and one of the main things that Maddie Lisbona, who's helping us out in the community and really donating his time if you want self-defense classes or other things, information about these things, what he said is, try not to go out there and be like the vigilante. Don't go out there finding these people and doing stuff. Remove yourself from negative confrontation and maybe more of a learning experience, meaning if somebody comes to you, talk to them. These are the facts. These are what you know. Walk away. And I don't mean because you're hiding. I'm not talking about that. Don't create more tension that needs to be.
You mean calm down the situation?
Calm the situation down. Don't get involved and don't, if you can. I mean, and then he goes on to say that if you can't and you have to defend yourself, you better be vicious. This isn't just like, hit the person back. You better learn to actually be vicious,
right? Because
it's your life on the line or your families and things like that. But I'm not going to talk about that too deeply right now. I'm just going to touch on it because if you'd like, you can contact us. We can give you information how to reach him, take classes, be aware of your situation. He was even saying be aware of your neighbors.
Right.
Meaning you know who your neighbors are. You know what kind of cars they have in the front of the house usually. If you see an unusual car sitting in front of your house for a while or something unusual, either report it, find out if it's legit, not legit, what's happening. Be aware of your situation and your surrounding. And if you're at a restaurant, look for the exits. And he says, do not look for the main exit. Look for the exit that nobody's going to go through.
Right.
Go to the back. Go to the side. Don't be with all the crowd running in and trampling yourself down and not being able to breathe through that and the panic. Don't panic. When you sit down somewhere, know your surrounding. There's an exit in the back. There's an exit in the front. Right. There's only one in the front. He says lock yourself in the bathroom. Go to the bathroom and lock yourself in there. Just lock the door and stay in there and call 911. Don't start fighting back and doing what you can't do if you're in a situation like that.
Unless you have a gun and just shoot the guy. Don't even think about that twice.
You really shouldn't be at a restaurant holding a gun.
A restaurant. We're talking about a restaurant. I'm already.
If you're at home, that's something different.
I'm in a combat situation.
Yeah.
And I, if I see in my neighborhood, a property and things that are strange going on, like people coming, going, all kinds of
something different. Something that you realize is different than the regular day-to-day thing.
Right. So I would report that to the police so they can come and check it out. So
although the police are not coming out so fast, but hopefully they will.
The West Valley Police Chief has given his personal phone number. So police is doing their job.
There are always some good
ones. Maybe we'll have a few police officers here, the radio come and talk to us and brief us on what we should really do and how we should react and how we can help you. Reach out to special people if you see anything that's strange and unusual. And I can't believe I'm saying that even, because I take myself 40 years ago when I arrived to Los Angeles, as a young Israeli that was before army, and I went through the training and was ready to go to the army. I remember walking the streets with my aunt, and she said to me, aren't you afraid? It's dark. We should go home. It's getting dark. And I said to her, I'm Israeli. I'm not afraid,
But also that was because you were young. Young people feel that way.
But I kind of feel the same way. I am not afraid. The fear is not going to stop me from fighting, okay?
Right. Well, you shouldn't be afraid. You should go out. You should do whatever you want. Just know that it's happening and be more aware of your situation and your surrounding. You see, again, even at a restaurant, if you hear the first word come out of someone not okay, dial 911. Better to have a mistake and have the police come out there for no reason than to be sorry that you didn't make that first phone call.
Why don't we do a shout out to Maddie Lisbona because
Maddie, thank you. And he helped us Sunday. We had you came to see us, a great self-defense class. And I think he's doing it again this Sunday. Again, anybody that wants to join, please contact me or Ilana. We will get you in touch with him.
Absolutely. And I want to maybe towards the end of our...
I think we're close to that.
We're close to that. I want to mention something very important to me because lots of kids are going back to school. lots of Jewish kids are going back to school, and they go to public schools. And my concern is, these kids are just went through, a year of trauma. Everybody's it's dealing with that, with masks, school, no school, and now they're coming back to school with a not a
new
school,
thing.
a new thing. What do you think parents? How do you think parents should prepare their kids when they have to encounter such a situation as a discrimination and because they're Jewish?
First of all, I definitely think that parents should tell the children what's going on and not. I've heard the opposite. Oh, we don't want our kids to be worried and scared. No, they need to know what's happening. You don't have to scare them when you're telling them. You just tell them, if you hear X or Y, go to your print. Don't fight back. The kids shouldn't start arguing there. They should report it to a teacher or a principal. And if they see, unfortunately, there's some teachers that are not helping right now. So if they see that within a few minutes nothing has been done, they should remove themselves. I don't care if they get in trouble for leaving the classroom or the yard or whatever. Go talk to another teacher, a second one, or a principal. Make sure you let someone know, even if you thought it was a little thing like, oh, and the children playing on the yard, oh, you dirty, Jew or whatever. Report it immediately. And I think the kids do need to know a little bit of what's going on. They shouldn't live in a blind world. I don't think that helps them in any way.
No.
And if you're more aware, you're less scared.
Right.
If something happens, you're like, oh, I know that this could happen. I'm just going to go talk to someone about it. You're not as scared. I actually think it's much more scary if you don't know what's going to happen and you never heard that these things are happening and you go to school in a blind, like, oh, everything's great, which hopefully it will be. But if it's not, they know what to do at least. They have the tools.
Very good.
They need to have tools. That's
Absolutely.
what I think.
And if you want to, you guys can bring your kids to Matty Lisbona, who will teach them self-defense.
He will actually come out to your homes. You need to make an appointment with him and find out all the details. It might be good to have maybe 2-3 couples or families at a time.
Right.
I've offered it to somebody, and he's fantastic, and please use him. If for some reason he's not in your area, not available, karate, jitsu, Krav Maga. There's many things you can do.
Right.
There are other things you can do.
Right.
And I do understand that there are some situations that somebody is older and cannot physically, they have a handicap, they can't do it. I definitely think that this is the time to buy pepper spray for everybody. You should at least have a pepper spray that's harmless. Maybe burn the person's eyes for a while, but that's about it. Nothing bad's going to happen from it.
Right.
At least something to help you,
Exactly.
out there.
Listen, if you make a mistake, you say, I'm sorry. That's it. It's the worst of it. If the person will be alive and maybe, like you said, burn their eyes, but you will be safe.
You'll be a little safer. That's all. At least something. And know that, I see a lot of young people walking out there with hoodies and earphones in their ears. And I know today people have the earphones for the wireless phone. I'm not sure in this situation how safe that is, because you really need to be listening to your surrounding, paying attention, and know what's happening. Just know there's a person walking behind me. That doesn't mean you need to be scared all day long. It just means be aware.
Right.
Be aware. That's all. Well, Ilana, tell us a little bit about your new guests coming to your show, and then we're going to wrap it up here.
Thank you for touching that.
Yeah, of course, because you have some interesting people coming.
I have some amazing, and important people that are coming to our show here at TLA Radio.
Yes, we're on TLA Radio, guys. Please tune in with us.
So we have Dr. Hillel Newman, and he is our Consul General of Israel, and he will be here on Wednesday, June 2nd, at 1 p.m.
Next Wednesday.
So we'll try to get him physically, but if
maximum
not,
will be Zoom, but either way he'll be on.
He will be on definitely. And then following week, we're gonna have a very, very important and talented Mike Bernstein, and he is a I don't need to say who he is. I mean, everybody knows who he is, but
hopefully
he is,
most of the
but
people
those of
know.
you who don't know, he this is how I know him. He's the actor. He's the Kuni Lemel who created Kuni Lemel character, and he played him many Kuni Lemels on and on. And now he's actually a child actor, theater, classical. His parents in New York had a theater, Yiddish theater.
Oh, nice.
And he was a child protege there.
Very
and
nice.
I mean, the stories we'll hear. I'm so excited.
That's great.
And we have a newbie, somebody who is new from Israel. He's a comedian, a very funny man. His name is Nadav Amar, and it's in Hebrew.
Okay, great.
And he's going to be coming the following Wednesday at 1 p.m., which is Wednesday the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So
live from Israel, is that correct?
Live Zoom from Israel, yes. So
it'll be from Israel.
And this is just the beginning. We are lining up a lot of interesting people, actors, singers.
That's Ilana's show, Kan Vershav.
Kan Vershav, exactly.
Yes.
So thank you so much for letting me share this.
This was great. We shared a great day on each other's shows. I will be having a lot of people here at this show. I will advertise them as they come on. With the situation that was happening, some of mine have postponed because we were just going to interview people in the city, and we ended up having self-defense show last week and things like that. So thank you to everyone. Have a safe and be aware of your situation week, and have a great day and afternoon. Bye from Politically Incorrect and TLA.